checked in, but they never checked out. Marcus, Elena, and Tom, 3 lifelong friends on a weekend escape, vanished without a trace. The neon sign of Hotel Elmswood kept flickering in the dark. A door slammed shut. Police tape fluttered in the wind. A single mud-stained shoe rests near the cracked window. All that remained? One locked room and a note with a chilling message. And tonight, we're unlocking the door they never came out of. This is the locked room of Hotel Elmswood. Marcus, Elena, and Tom arrived at Hotel Elmswood on a quiet Friday evening. They came in one car, an old black sedan, dusty from the long drive up the forest road. The hotel sat near the edge of a ridge, surrounded by pine trees that muffled sound and shadowed light. The Elmswood wasn't a place you stumbled upon. You had to look for it. The receptionist on duty described them as friendly but tired. Elena was the talkative one. Made a quick joke about the hotel looking like something out of a horror film. "Hope it's not haunted," she laughed, signing the check-in sheet. Tom, impatient, was annoyed the hotel had no working Wi-Fi and barely a bar of signal. He complained that his phone kept switching time zones. Marcus stayed mostly quiet, smiling in that withdrawn, polite way. When asked if they needed anything else, he replied, "Just the quiet." Elena chuckled. "If I had $40,000, I'd buy all the quiet I could ever want." They were given room 203, second floor, end of the hall. According to hotel logs, no other rooms were booked that night. The room had one queen bed and a pull-out sofa, no balcony, one small window that looked out onto the tree line. They brought in a single duffel bag, some snacks, and a Bluetooth speaker. The last time they were seen was just after 10 p.m., heading upstairs with drinks from the vending machine. Security logs confirmed they entered the room. The hallway camera captured the door shutting behind them. After that, silence. No disturbances, no raised voices, no signs of exit. No one saw them again. One night, 3 friends, 4 walls, and no exit. At 11:03 a.m. the next morning, housekeeping knocked. No response. The Do Not Disturb sign hung from the doorknob. Standard protocol was to return in an hour. At 12:17 p.m., a second knock. Again, no response. The sign remained. By 2:06 p.m., the manager, noting that the room had not checked out or communicated, used the master key. What he found triggered a full lockdown of the property. The door was locked from the inside. Deadbolt engaged. Chain still set. No way in or out without unlocking it manually. The room appeared untouched. Neatly made bed, sofa folded in, wastebasket empty, lights off. The duffel bag was gone. The snacks were gone. Even the Bluetooth speaker was missing. There were no signs of a disturbance, no blood, no overturned furniture. The window was shut but not fully latched. The glass had a hairline fracture in the corner. Nothing recent, the manager claimed. But directly beneath it, outside on the dirt slope, police found one mud-stained sneaker, size 10. No prints led to it, none led away. It just sat there, as if dropped from the sky. There were no fingerprints other than the 3 guests and hotel staff. All 3 phones were missing, but the room's landline had no outgoing calls. Wi-Fi routers showed no connection from room 203 after 10:42 p.m. And on the center of the bed, a single sheet of paper, handwritten in uneven pressure. "You're looking the wrong way." A full scan of the hotel structure showed no crawl spaces, false walls, or hidden passages. Floorboards were solid, no attic above the 2nd floor. The room was sealed, no Marcus, no Elena, no Tom. What came next would only deepen the mystery. Detectives expanded the search beyond room 203. First, the hotel staff. Backgrounds clean, no prior complaints, but one housekeeper mentioned something odd. A light flickering from the room at 3 a.m., though no movement was heard. The hotel guest log showed no entries after midnight, yet one blank line had been manually erased. No name, just a smudge of black ink where an entry should have been. Security reviewed access card data. All 3 friends used the same key, logged between 1:40 and 1:45 a.m. No other access recorded. Anomalies grew. The power grid showed a 3-second voltage drop at 2:04 a.m. the exact time the hallway cam glitched. Downstairs in the boiler room, a clipboard listed maintenance checks. One box was ticked under April 14th, time-stamped 2:10 a.m. The issue? The hotel didn't have any scheduled maintenance. Outside, cadaver dogs picked up faint traces near a drainage ditch. A pipe ran beneath the west wing, sealed at both ends. They cut it open. Nothing inside but a thin trail of blood. DNA inconclusive, it wasn't human. As the investigation deepened, the detectives began to wonder if every clue they uncovered truly pointed in the right direction, or if some were leading them astray. At that stage, detectives had their own theory. Theory 1. Marcus, quiet but calculating, lured his friends to Elmswood, then used the old boiler route to disappear after staging all three of their vanishings. Theory 2. Elena found something, the erased guest log, the faint voicemail. She suspected someone, maybe one of the others. Theory 3. The hotel sits on forgotten grounds. A facility burned down there in 1956. Patients vanished, records gone. Some believe the building was simply built over what couldn't be buried. Theory 4. It's not about who left, but what was let in. Locals mention room 203 in hushed tones. It's been sealed before, twice. Once in 1989, again in 2004. Both times, unexplained disturbances. Both times, a guest left in a catatonic state. Nearly a year after the case had gone cold, a yellowed envelope arrived at Elena's mother's door. No return address, just a faded Polaroid inside. It showed Marcus, Elena, and Tom sitting at a wooden cabin table. Elena held a newspaper dated 3 days after their disappearance. None of them looked at the camera. Behind them, through a cracked window, hung a painting. The original Hotel Elmswood, the one lost in the 1983 fire, which clearly shouldn't exist. But the photo was real, no edits, no tricks, shot on vintage film. It reopened the case instantly. Investigators took a second look and found what they'd missed. A night staffer named Edwin had vanished the day after the trio disappeared. No real ID, no trace since. Just a few memories from co-workers, quiet, observant, always near room 203. One housekeeper came forward. She'd overheard Marcus that night talking about $40,000 and starting over, and Elena's earlier joke about the same amount of money. That same night, someone searched how to fake a disappearance on the hotel's guest computer. Initial reports found no foul play, but the photo prompted new tests. Traces of zolpidem, a strong sedative, were found in hotel's 3 water glasses. The hotel staff fingerprints was already there. Room 203 hadn't just gone still, it had been staged. The room was too clean, no struggle. Blankets folded, door locked from inside. It screamed experience. Someone who knew the hotel inside out. The $40,000 trail led to a fake account tied to Edwin's description. And the security footage? It conveniently glitched for exactly 2 hours. The shoe and the notes were just to mislead. The photo didn't confirm a haunting. It exposed the illusion. Behind the ghost story was a man, a motive, and a nearly perfect crime. The room wasn't cursed. It was a calculated, well-executed crime. A hotel staff, Edwin used Elmswood's haunted reputation to his advantage. He knew the blind spots. When the cameras looped, when housekeeping knocked, where the sleeping pills were, how to lock the room from the outside. He was the one who searched how to fake a disappearance. The missing guest listing, the fake maintenance, all was his ploy. He had patience, a plan, and $40,000 to vanish with. But trying to keep the ghost story alive became Edwin's biggest mistake. The photo he mailed reignited the very myth he tried to use as cover. It showed the 3 friends alive after their supposed disappearance, fueling theories of a paranormal event. Instead of closing the case, it opened a new line of suspicion. Elena, Tom, and Marcus were drugged, alive but hidden. For 3 days, he kept them just long enough to take that photo to keep the myth alive. Then one by one, they were silenced. The image made it seem like Marcus, Elena, and Tom had returned, ghost-like, after vanishing. Edwin had meant to deepen the mystery. Instead, it brought his crime back to room 203. His plan, drugging them, relocating them, staging a disappearance, was flawless, until that one slip. The ghost story didn't bury the truth. It exposed it. So in the end, it wasn't a ghost. It was Edwin, One photo unraveled everything. It led investigators back to the hotel, back to the truth, and eventually to him. He was caught months later, hiding under a new name. The myth didn't save him, and just like that, the real monster was no longer a rumor. Do you think the truth was always right in front of us? What secrets could Edwin still be hiding? Drop your questions in the comments below, and let's dive deeper into this mystery together. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. Until next time, this is Mind Unfolded.